Hello, this is Riding with Ree, and for today's ride I thought I would do something a little bit different. So I often give you routine videos where I sort of update you on things as I go through my chores, and I realised I haven't done a GoPro hack out with me in a while, and nor have I actually done a sort of GoPro where we just have a bit of a catch up. So I personally love these types of YouTube videos where I sort of have them on in the background whilst I'm getting ready or whilst I'm cooking or something else, and I sort of get up to date with what that person is doing. So I thought perhaps I would try that today, and you guys can let me know if you like it or not. So obviously this was actually quite a significant hack. It was the first hack I'd done on Ted since I had my fall on him. I had a couple of people asking me after my last video what happened with that fall. So if you're not aware, I basically took Ted galloping on my own on the farm, which I do often. You've seen other videos of me doing it. And he was really good. We had a lovely trot. He was down in an outline. We had a lovely canter. He felt really relaxed. And just as I was heading home, I thought I would let him go and have a proper gallop. We don't get to do that too often. So I let him go into gallop, and he suddenly just started putting in these huge bucks. It unseated me, and by the sort of third buck I came off. I twisted my knee quite badly and sprained a tendon. Ted obviously got spooked and galloped home, and I was just quite winded. It was quite a nasty fall. It was at pace, and I hadn't had a fall like that in a while. And I think when you're an adult, you sort of you fall a bit harder than you used to, so it really knocked my confidence a little bit. And because I was so injured, I couldn't ride for a couple of weeks. So where before, you know, with most falls you get straight back on and you just kind of get on with it, I couldn't do that because I was in too much pain. So I had to have a couple of weeks where I didn't ride, and then just as a precaution I got the dentist out for Ted and the saddler, which you might have seen if you saw my video last week, and we realised that his saddle doesn't fit anymore. He's obviously muscled up since we've started doing a lot of schooling, so whilst we were waiting for a new saddle, that was also time that I didn't ride him. So it took a while to get back on, and I'll be honest, I spent the first couple of sessions just in the school, getting used to him and the new saddle and just getting my confidence back up to scratch. And then I'd actually planned to go out the day after this with a couple of friends who were going to walk out with me and hack out and kind of help me break that seal of getting back out there. Obviously I know that it was uncommon for Ted to buck. He has never ever bucked with me before, but that doesn't stop you feeling this sort of this moment of kind of nervousness and being a bit afraid that he might do it again. And I guess all I could think about was, well, what if we hadn't been on the farm? You know, I was lucky that I fell off on the farm. Ted went straight back to the yard. People found him and quickly came to help me, but I just couldn't stop thinking about what happens if he does this while we're out somewhere else and we're not at home. Because I love to hack out on my own. So these sorts of things went through my head, and I really just wanted to go out with him, even if we only walked, and just go out by ourselves and kind of check in with myself, not put pressure on myself to do anything, and not feel the pressure of anyone else I was riding with and feel like I was, you know, holding them back if they wanted to trot or canter. So that's what I did. I went out with Ted. I gave my partner my location, which I always do when I hack out off the farm. Ted was wearing his tag, which has my name, his address, my telephone number, his owner's telephone number, just in case he does get loose and someone finds him. And I was also wearing my body protector, which I do usually wear when I've been hacking out, but I did get a bit lax lately and I wasn't wearing it the day that I fell off, sod's law. So there we have it. That's what we're doing right now. And in other news, if you follow my Instagram, you may know that I have just become a brand ambassador for Equus England. Equus England are an incredible website which they literally sell everything you could possibly think of for horse and rider. And I have found that since taking Ted on full loan, I definitely spend more money on things than I used to. And with my job and with being really busy, I just find it easier to buy online. The tack shops aren't that close to me, and it takes a while out of my day to go to one. So I buy my stuff online, and Equus offers free shipping on every single order in the UK, no matter how small. So you could buy a pair of gloves or, you know, £300 worth of rugs and you'd still get free shipping. So if you find anything that you like on Equus, I'll link them out below, and you can use my code to get yourself 10% off. The code is BARD10. So that's BA for brand ambassador, RD for Rhiannon Davis, that's me, and 10 for 10% off. Let me know if you do get anything. I'd love to see what you buy. Tag me in it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see it because I'm always doing a bit of window shopping myself. It's bad to encourage one another, but you know, here we are. Other exciting news. December is shaping up to be a pretty big month. I have been developing my first product, which is incredibly exciting. It's been months and months and months in the making, but I am very, very close to having that with me in person, like in the flesh, which I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping to have that on sale by early December, so that if you particularly like it, I won't say what it is yet, but if you like it, you can buy it in time for Christmas. So stay tuned for that. I'm incredibly excited by it. And I'm also working on my next horse and country episode, so you will remember that I teamed up with them for a series where Ted and I try out their masterclasses. I have obviously been delayed in doing my second episode because I hurt myself, and then Ted didn't have a saddle. So anyway, we're working on that, and a lot of you have been saying that you would like quick, easy flat work sessions for the winter time when it's a bit darker and you don't have as much time to ride. So I'm really going to work on one of those. That's the focus of the session, so stay tuned for that episode. And then we have very exciting news coming on December 4th. I won't reveal what it is, but it's going to be a big moment, and yeah, coming up to a year of knowing Ted and sharing Ted. I started sharing him on the 14th of January, so we've almost known each other for a year now. Anyway, let's crack on with this ride. So I got myself settled. We'd walked for about 10 minutes, and then I thought, okay, I feel confident enough to have a trot now. I wanted to trot him on a path where we've trotted before. There's no association with canter there. I'd never canter him on that path because it's too sort of stubbly. Not stubbly, it's too rocky. There's too many like rocks and stuff. So I know that he has no association with going fast there. It's not an exciting place. So it was a really good place to test how I was feeling and just have a little trot, which is what I did. And I felt really good. I had a lovely little trot. I felt relaxed, and I'll be honest, initially when I went into trot, I sort of hung onto my neck strap a little bit and was like, oh, but then immediately felt much calmer and much better, and Ted was being a perfect gentleman as well, as I would expect. So as I went into the wood, I again started walking, and I just told myself that whatever I felt like doing was completely fine. If I didn't feel like cantering, I didn't have to. I could walk, I could trot. So I sort of dipped my toe into having a short trot and then pushed him into canter. And I'm going to be really honest, in this moment I was nervous, and that's not like me, and it's obviously, it feels embarrassing to say, but I was nervous. I was nervous that he might get really excited. It's the first canter I've done out with him in the new saddle. It might feel different, he might buck again, I might fall off. Those things go through your head, but I hung onto my neck strap. I was stood up quite upright. I had stirrups that were long enough for me to feel comfortable, and we had a short little canter, and I came back to trot as soon as I felt comfortable and I felt like I wanted to. And I think that's all you can do in these situations is, you know, accept the fact that you've lost a bit of confidence and then just work at whatever pace you feel confident to get it back. So we carried on our hack, which led us onto a couple of roads and then into a woodland again. And as I sort of started heading home, I just felt like once I'd had my canter, the waves of sort of relief washed over me and I felt much better. And actually on my way home, I think I got one more cheeky canter in, and you know, it was really nice. And I'm really, really glad that I went out for the first time on my own and just took that moment to say, check in with myself, check in with Ted. And then the next day I hacked out with friends, as I said, and I felt better having had that moment by myself. And it's just a nice reminder, isn't it, that, you know, it's okay to knock your confidence and it's okay to take things slow and take one step back. I think the next few hacks we go on will just help to increase our confidence. I saw something from one of my coaches on Facebook the other day that talked about this analogy of having pennies in a jar, and it basically said that every time you train your horse, you're aiming to put pennies in the jar, which is like confidence. And things can sometimes happen with you and your horse that take pennies out of the jar, like they knock a fence or you fall off or something happens. And the aim of every session is to come away with as many pennies as possible. And pennies are coming in and going out every time you ride, just based on things that happen. But the aim is to always have more pennies than when you started with. And I think this, where I'm at right now, is that I have maybe half a jar of pennies. I spilled a few pennies when I fell off Ted in the field, and now I'm building them back up. Every ride that I do, I put a few more pennies in the jar, and he probably has no idea that I'm feeling this way. He's just like carrying on, as it were, but you know, we're a partnership, so I want to be up to scratch and how he is expecting me to be and expecting me to ride. So we are focused on putting our pennies in the jar right now. We have a dressage competition on the 19th of December, very excited about that. And you know what, it'll come back quicker than I think. And just wanted to remind you all that it's okay to lose your confidence. It's all about how you get it back and that mental strength that you have. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of a chit chat. Let me know if you like it. I'll do more of them. Equally nicely, let me know if you prefer not to have it this way, and I'll do less of them, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will speak to you soon. See you then. Bye.